grew up acting. I grew up in Playbox, so I was acting since I was about 4 years old. And it was the only thing I ever really thought I'd do was to act.
I admire actors. I think actors are terrific.
So few things give young people imaginative, creative power like that.
I would like to go into a career, and I'd like to go to drama school.
I decided halfway through drama school I didn't want to be a student, I wanted to be an actor.
The thing now about acting is it's such a difficult profession for anybody to succeed in.
You're all friends for the first 2 years, and then when it comes to the third year, you all want the best parts.
I know it's quite hard to find a long-term strong place in the acting world.
When you're 19, that's all you want.
Playbox is a youth theatre based in Warwick primarily. That's where the Dream Factory is, which is sort of like the centre.
I first got involved when I was 9. It was recommended to us by a friend, us being me and my sister.
I was 7, so I didn't really hear about it. My mum did. My mum was like, oh, your friend's a guy, maybe you should go too. And I did, and my friends stopped, and I just kept going, and I got more and more involved.
You learn so much from just being in Playbox and having such lovely and caring and experienced directors.
The whole thing now about acting is it's such a difficult profession for anybody to succeed in. And if they do succeed in it, a few months later they may be, out of work. So I don't know if I'd recommend anybody to go into acting unless they wouldn't have it any other way. What I think theatre can do is give you a marvellous experience of exploring the world that you live in through interaction with other people, through argument, through discussion, through making responses, whether that's through a play or a piece of movement or a film. It gives you a way of articulating your ideas, and for some people that's the best way of doing it.
Have you ever wondered, well I have, about how when I say red, for example?
I am aware of several alumni members that are all over the world really doing all sorts of exciting projects.
There's Joshua Maguire. I remember clearly the day he started at Playbox. He came in at 9 years old and was just bursting with talent, bursting with energy, and it was great watching him develop. We've just seen him as Mozart at Chichester in Amadeus. He's just about to open in the film Mr. Turner. So he's a great example. Sophie Turner, of course, who was here when she was that high. Now the face of New Look, one of the faces of Game of Thrones, and moving on to become very big in the acting profession.
Sophie loved Playbox and she was so deeply involved in it the same way that we all have been. I believe it must have taught her a lot and must have got her really excited about drama in the same way that it has for everyone.
I really do love acting, but I don't think I could ever do it as a career. Getting into drama school, getting roles and getting parts, I don't have enough commitment.
I grew up acting. I grew up in Playbox, so I was acting since I was about 4 years old. And it had always been theatre, although I secretly always wanted to do film and television because maybe it seemed more exciting. It was a hell of a shock when I left home, moved to London, had an agent, and sat waiting for the phone to ring for that audition to come in, and I maybe got 1 a year or 2 a year. This was meant to be my career, and there was no work. And the pressure you put on yourself when that one audition comes up because you haven't worked in a year.
I have been teaching drama for over 40 years, and I examined for the London Academy for 23 years. I don't dissuade, but one's got to enlighten students of the pitfalls. So much of the profession is out of work all of the time, and I worry very much about the opportunities.
Most of the screen work I've done has not been as an actor where you can see my face. On Potter, I was a performance double, which basically means every time you can't see the actor's face, it potentially can be a double. So if there's a really kind of wide shot and they're that big, it can be a double. I will never get cast as an actress on screen because I have a very dramatically lazy eye, which means you can't tell my eye line. And unfortunately, acting on screen is all about seeing the eye line. So I kind of clocked quite early on that that was never going to happen for me, so I'd have to settle for being a double, which is fine because I would have never got to play Hermione Granger. Set hours are ridiculously long, and I want a family and I want a life, and realistically you can't do both well.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being an amateur actor, but personally I would like to go into a career, and I'd like to go to drama school to sort of hone a talent.
Drama school, from what I know of friends that have been, it tends to be a bubble.
Yes.
Yeah. You're very safe in drama school. I had a friend that went to Italia Conti, and in the first year they didn't do any shows to anyone outside of the school. I don't understand that. Some people.
I think actually, Ben, that's quite a good idea as well, because you're not really ready. You really need to examine all aspects of that training.
As a professional actor, I suppose you spend the majority of your time auditioning. There's websites and membership websites that get you your jobs, such as Spotlight, which is the main one in the UK. There's Casting Call Pro. Normally, to get a decent casting agent, and even to be seen by some directors, they won't see you unless you're on Spotlight. The directors for a production will put the roles that they're casting for online. Your agent will see if you're right for that role. Even if you're not right for it, they put you up for it sometimes because it's the money.
You've got so many extras, in films and television that there's a very good chance that you'll get extra work. It's not bad money.
Adverts as well, commercials.
Commercial ads.
You can earn a year's salary in 2 days doing a commercial.
People in Playbox have opportunity to audition for professional film, theatre, television.
I was with the agency The Book at Playbox, and I sent off a self-tape from the audition script that they sent to me. I got the part, and I filmed for an amazing, strange 2 weeks down in Wales. The director of Petition County is called Raphael Crombez. He's from the Belgian International Film School, I think. It was his final year there, and it was his final piece, and he's entered it into various film festivals. It was just an amazing experience. It's given me insight into sort of another area of the acting world. Previously I'd just been theatre. But now I've had this experience. I've realised that I would like to pursue that more if I can.
The book, we set it up because we had a lot of casting directors coming to Playbox wanting kids for films. So we thought we'd set up the agency, and then we know the children who are interested in being cast in professional work. But it's also to give them a realistic impression of what the industry's like before it actually matters.
I was 9 years old, and my mum said, "We have been asked if you'd like to send a photo of yourself in and potentially be in this massive film called Alice in Wonderland, and it's a Tim Burton film, Mariella, and Johnny Depp's even in it. How exciting is that?" But stupidly, as a 9-year-old, I wasn't fazed. I was like, nah, I'd rather not. So then it was a matter of sending in photos and seeing if I looked like the main Alice, Mia, who was playing lead role. And apparently I did look like her, and I had her eyes, which was lovely. So then it was travelling up to London, and I think I had about a couple of auditions, and then I got the part. I got a huge impression. I was just a naive 10-year-old, and I had no idea about anything that would happen backstage or how the whole thing fitted together. So I filmed on set, and then I also filmed on a green screen, which was mind-blowing. It was a huge studio, and it was all completely this huge bright neon green everywhere. Sort of made your head ache after a while, and it was just constantly busy. So many people were involved, so many people were holding stuff up and sorting things out and being told to do this or that, and it was just buzzing with crew.
She's very close with her dad, who unfortunately dies, but you don't get to see all that bit.
Afterwards, I just remember thinking, oh great, that's me set. I've been in a film now. People are going to be calling me up all the time. Didn't quite work out like that. I did audition for quite a while and I still wanted it. But again, I think I was quite naive about how it would work out.
I kind of want the kids on the agency to realise that you don't get an audition every week, and you might be perfect for a part. It doesn't necessarily mean the casting director is going to call you in.
I mean, it really is tough, and it's grossly unfair. And if you can cope with the wealth of disappointments that are going to come your way and still maintain the passion, then that's fine.
But then, starting high school, I remember falling in love with all sorts of other things. I still always going to love drama. I did drama GCSE and I'm doing drama A-level, and obviously I'm addicted to Playbox. I think as long as I'm involved in drama and acting in that way, then I'll be happy.
If you're going to wake up on your 40th birthday and not be acting and say you've wasted your life because that's what you want to do, then you must do acting.
You have to be absolutely made of steel to do it.